Hello and welcome back to another video. Sorry it's been some time since I did a little update. There's been an awful lot of building work and I'm sorry there's a lot of noise about today, and it's amazing when you're trying to make these videos, if you've got neighbours, quite rightly, and they're in their rights to do this if they're doing building work. Obviously it's a lot of noise and it makes making any sort of video quite difficult. But anyway, I thought I'd do a little update. I hope your garden is growing well. It's been a strange start to the year, and spring and summer. We had a really cold spring which went on a long while with night frosts right into April, into early May. We've had a couple of warm weeks since then, but I think generally plants around here in the sort of Midlands are still quite behind a little bit now, and we really could do with some warm weather, although it is quite muggy and humid today. So anyway, I want to do a little update on this. I've been contacted by a number of people, not through, I have to say, not through the YouTube channel. This is a very small channel, as you'll see by the subscribers at the moment. But thank you to everybody that does comment on the videos and like and subscribe, I have to say. You know, several people locally who I know in this area have come to me and wanted my advice, so I thought I'd do. I don't know whether anybody else has had this problem this year, but I wanted to do a bit of a look at these what are known, which are being sold by the online garden retailers, shall we call them these days. I think nurseries is a bit too grandiose for some of these companies, but some of the gardening online outlets that sell these garden ready plants. And in a minute or two I'm going to take the camera off the tripod and show you some that were sent to, these weren't bought by me. I think you knew I did have some begonias that were badly damaged this year. They weren't garden ready, they were just little plug plants, but they came badly damaged, and I have to say in my case the company refunded the money, as they hadn't got any left. They refunded me the money straight away. There was no quibble. They said they're very sorry and they were most apologetic about it. But I've heard so many you know, complaints about garden ready plants, and by this I mean more like the annual plants, you know, things like the geraniums, lobelia, that kind of, the petunias, that kind of thing. If you're doing tubs or you're doing a bed in your garden and you haven't got a greenhouse or anywhere to keep these plants, so you bought them direct online thinking they're going to come end of May, early June and on into June, and you'll be able to set them straight out. So without further ado, I'll now take the camera off the tripod and show you a little bit more what I mean by this. So now what we're looking at, if I point here, we're looking at a tray of geraniums, and I believe these are a kind of Saphinia petunia. Now these were received 2 weeks ago, and I meant to do a video there and then, but as I say, with how things have been, there has not really been the chance. So these have been now in this tray. When the neighbour contacted me and said, you know, can you help me, I've got a problem, I quickly put these in these trays. Now these plants were sold to her by a reputable company. I'm not going to mention names here. You know, I'm not about to run anybody down by their name. But these were a very reputable online garden supplier of garden ready plants, and these were sent to her, I have to say, via Hermes. We all pause there, and they were meant to be garden ready. Well, this is about a third of what I managed to salvage of them. 2/3 were so dead they went straight in the green garden bin. They were slimy, they got big signs of botrytis. I think that might have been the fact that they were just in transit far too long in one of those particularly hot weeks we had. But these companies should be making allowances for that, and should be looking at sending, in my view, these so-called garden ready plants out on a 24-hour delivery service. They shouldn't be coming, 3-4 days, which these must have been. As I say, these are the ones I managed to save, but you could see, I mean, I still, to this day, and this is 2 weeks on, I still don't class these as garden ready. The geraniums are making a bit of a comeback. They look like geranium sticks when I put them in this tray. I really didn't think even these would grow. It just shows you how resilient plants are. The petunias still don't look particularly well, and they still have got a lot of dead on them, and I can see some botrytis there and grey mould, and we'll have to see what we do with those. And I might now start putting them outside and sort of get them hardened off a bit, or put them into little individual flower pots and grow them on that way. But there is no way anybody without the facilities of a greenhouse, or that had seed trays or had readily available compost, could have dealt with these plants. They were in such a state, they were so small as well for garden ready plants, and I think this is a real issue that I've seen people talking about many times this year. I mean, what is a garden ready plant? I used to do a flower bed on a public building, and was given a budget for that. And I used to originally buy my plants from wholesalers down in the Fens. They used to deliver them out to me, and they were fantastic plants. The last week of May or first week in June, they'd send a van which was delivering countrywide, and they'd drop these plants off to me. And they'd perhaps only been in transit 1 or 2 hours on this van, and they were incredible plants. They certainly were garden ready. I could set them straight out into the bed, no problem. They sadly then retired, so I then went to a big garden centre down in the south that started doing garden ready plants. Sure, they were more expensive, but the plants came in lovely condition, lovely packaged, and they were certainly there again, the size what I call ready to go out in the garden. Whereas these things, half of them had tipped out in transit. They were incredibly dry. Some of them had sweated in the packaging, so obviously the leaves had gone all slimy. The smell was incredible on. I had to throw one whole packet of the petunias away because the smell when I opened the like the plastic packaging that they were in was disgusting, And as I say, these were delivered by Hermes, a company who I've not had a lot of success with myself. I used to trade a little bit on eBay with my vintage radios, and they let me down a few times badly. And I don't know why these garden companies still persist. I suppose it's cost. Hermes is cheap, but if you're going to let people down with plants like this, why persist? So what do you do if you have plants that you're not happy with, like this that come? Well, the first thing to do is, most of us these days have a phone with a camera. Take some pictures as you unpack them, of the state they're in, and obviously then go back first and foremost to the supplier, and air your grievances in an email or online chat or whatever. Or some of these companies have phone helplines, but this issue, we couldn't get hold of the company. The person, the lady that bought these, tried the company's supposed hotline. Nobody was answering it. We couldn't even find an email address for this company. They had an online where you could send an online message, so I typed an online message stating what had happened, and we weren't happy, and the plants were in a total mess, and it was just a waste of this lady's money, that what she'd spent. But then, interestingly enough, I went on Trustpilot, that's the review site, and found this company on Trustpilot, and there must have been, there again, I'm not going to say the company's name, but there must have been 50 or 60 similar complaints where people had had plants in poor condition, had had very small plants sent to them, which were more like plug plants that were sold as garden ready plants. So I did no more. I put a review about these plants on Trustpilot, you know, quite a damning view, because, you know, I mean, these plants had cost this lady a lot of money, and I thought they were pathetic, really, to get them in this condition and that size. And in fairness, within a couple of days, I had a personal email with reference to my Trustpilot review from a lady at customer services of this company. And, you know, as soon as I'd got the email address, I sent her some pictures of the plants, of the condition that they when they arrived. And I mean, as soon as she saw the pictures and said, yeah, look, we're very sorry about this, you know, this shouldn't have happened, you know, we will send you replacements when available. So, I mean, what more can you do? That was fair enough. However, 10 minutes ago, strangely enough, whilst making this video, there was a ring at the bell, because the neighbour who is now away, we did arrange that the plants, when the replacements come, that they would come to my address, and the woman was okay about that, because the woman was going to be away and not at home. So 10 minutes ago the replacements arrived, and I'll show you them. Well, there we go again. What can I say, you know, I call those, they are just geranium plug plants. They are not garden ready plants, and you can see yet again, I mean, I think they'll be okay when they recover a little bit. There again, it's Hermes that bought them. They have been in transit and aged, they were dried out, the leaves have gone yellow, you can see how the flowers have been drawn up. You know, they have been coming 3 or 4 days again. You know, companies, they cannot do this. So there you go. If you've had any trouble with online plant sales, and particularly these garden ready, it's very sunny in here now, you know, drop me a comment below. What do you think? You know, do you think they're garden ready plants? Because I don't. Okay, that was fair enough for the company to replace, you know, the items. They haven't replaced any petunias that we lost, so whether I go back to them, the woman just said, she said basically leave it, you know, she just wouldn't buy any more plants from them. But whether I take it up with them again, and we'll see what happens. But I can't say I'm, you know, thrilled with the, you know, replacements they've sent, to be honest. It's a bit sad, really, isn't it? But there you go. So if you do have any plants that come, like I say, and you're not happy with them, the first ruling is take some pictures. If you don't have any joy with customer services of the particular firm that you bought them from, certainly go to Trustpilot and see if there are reviews about that company, or you can start a review off about a company. And that is one good way. And obviously companies do take notice of these Trustpilot reviews, because that's how they contacted us, re these plants. And even, I would say, before you buy any plants online, and it's a new company that you've never dealt with or used before, or even an old established company that you bought plants, just go to Trustpilot and type in the company's name in the box and see what sort of reviews the company are getting. It's a surefire way. I mean, gardeners are very honest people. They'll tell you straight, you know, whether it's a good or bad or indifferent service, what they're getting. So always worth doing that, I feel. And so there we go. That's my little view of buying garden ready plants. And as I say, Sorry, this video has gone on far too long, so I'll end it there anyway. And I will be doing an update and showing you my plants that I grew mainly from seed, and that they're all now set out and doing quite well. So that's another little video to come in the next week or so. So as always, thanks for watching, and thank you again for everyone that's subscribed, likes, comments, and I will say all the best all the time to you, and good gardening, and catch up with you very soon. Bye for now.